So as we've already seen in previous tutorials, importing dimensions from the part files is a really quick way of creating annotations and dimensions on your drawings. But sometimes the way that you model a file or the way that you model a part isn't always suitable for creating the dimensions on the drawing. So we're going to look at an example of that, and we're going to look at how to manually create dimensions in a drawing. So these would be referred to as driven dimensions rather than driving. Obviously the dimensions that you put in the features of the part are actually driving the shape of the part itself, the shape and size, whereas these dimensions are just added in the drawing just so that the person manufacturing that part fully understands the shape and form of the part. So you need to set your working directory as drawing details and then the subdirectory as dimensions driven. And we're going to load this driven dimensions drawing. So I've already set my working directory, so I'll just load the drawing in. So here's the drawing, and the part that we're going to address is this 14mm horizontal position of this hole. So these holes have been modelled relative to the probably a centre plane that runs through this part, but that centre plane hasn't been put in the drawing. Maybe the standards at your company or your place of work define that these holes need to be measured from the edge of the part. So even though when you modelled the part they were defined as a distance from the centre plane, maybe that was a wise way to model them, that's not suitable for the dimension on the drawing. The dimension on the drawing needs to be from this edge. So what we could do, we could select that dimension that's been imported from the part file, and then we could erase it like we've seen before. You click on erase, and then when I click in some free space, that's gone. And what we need to do is replace it with a driven dimension on the drawing that's from this edge to the center of these two holes. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to click on annotate, and then we've got a dimension button here. If we just open that up, we want to specify some new references, so we'll select that one, and we want to select this edge and one of these holes. So if we just select the edge of the hole, so we've got the two references. And then if we click on the middle button somewhere up here in the gap between the two, and then one final input that it needs is it's saying, do you want me to create a dimension from this vertical edge to the edge of the hole, so we're tangent with the circle, that would be this option, or do you want me to measure to the center point of this circle? And we want it to the center point, which is how you normally locate holes to their center axis. And you can see that it's inserted the distance there. So if we just return, so we get out of that menu, and then if we just have a little look, we're in the front view, maybe we're in the top view. We're in the top view there, so you can see I just selected top view and this green highlight box appeared. So we can just have a look at the annotation that we've just added, and here it is down at the bottom of the list of annotations on this view, and you can see that it has a different icon to the annotations that we brought in from the part itself. So the ones that are imported from the part using this button all have this D1 label underneath them, just to indicate that they were imported annotations, whereas this one that we've created in the drawing has a slightly different icon. It doesn't have the D1 underneath, which means it wasn't a parameter in the part, and it gets a different naming designation after it. So these were all indicated that they came from the model, whereas this one has just been added in the drawing itself, and we can drag that around as we need to, and maybe modify it how it's laid out. So yeah, that's how to add additional dimensions to your drawings that aren't properly covered or represented by the annotations that you can import from the model itself.